Stop. Before you make another goal for 2027, answer me one question. What if the only thing standing between the life you have today and the life you've been praying for is the way you spend your first hour every morning? Think about that. Not your education, not your age, not your job, not your background, not even your bank account, just your mornings. Because every successful person and every unsuccessful person wakes up with the same 24 hours. The difference isn't the amount of time they have, it's what they do before the rest of the world wakes up. Here's the painful truth. If you wake up tomorrow exactly the way you woke up today, there's a very good chance you'll still be living the same life when 2027 arrives. The same income, the same excuses, the same regrets, the same unrealized potential. But here's the good news. You don't need to change your entire life overnight. You only need to change how you begin your day. In the next few minutes, I'm going to share 3 powerful morning habits that have transformed the lives of high achievers across the world. These aren't complicated routines that require 4 hours before sunrise. They're simple, practical habits that can completely reshape the way you think, the way you work, and ultimately, the way you live. Ignore these habits, and 2027 will look a lot like today. Master them, and you won't just enter 2027 with new goals, you'll enter it as a completely different person. So eliminate every distraction, stay with me until the very end, because the third habit is the one most people ignore, and it could be the very reason your biggest breakthrough has been delayed. Don't enter 2027 carrying the same excuses that followed you through every year before it. Don't step into another January hoping that somehow life will change on its own. Hope is powerful, but hope without action is nothing more than wishful thinking. Every December, millions of people promise themselves that next year will be different. They buy new planners. They set ambitious goals. They create vision boards. They make declarations to friends and family. Yet by February, most of those promises have disappeared. Why? Because a new year doesn't create a new life. New habits create a new life. The truth is, your future is not waiting for the calendar to change. Your future is waiting for you to change. The person you become between now and 2027 will determine the opportunities you recognize, the income you earn, the relationships you build, and the legacy you leave behind. If you keep waking up the same way, thinking the same thoughts, making the same decisions, don't expect a different destination. Your life follows your habits more than your hopes. Your actions reveal your priorities more than your words ever will. The most successful people in the world don't win because they have more hours. They win because they protect the first hours they already have. Every morning is an opportunity to vote for the person you want to become. Every morning you either move closer to your purpose or drift further away from it. That's why you should never underestimate the power of the morning. Your morning is not just the beginning of your day. It is the foundation of your future. If the foundation is weak, everything you build on top of it becomes unstable. Most people wake up and immediately surrender control. Before their feet even touch the floor, they're scrolling through notifications. They're reading negative headlines. They're comparing themselves to strangers on social media. They're allowing other people's priorities to invade their minds before they've ever met. Their own people's even remembered their own. Then they wonder why they feel overwhelmed. Your mind is like fertile soil. Whatever you plant first begins to grow. If you plant fear, you'll harvest anxiety. If you plant distraction, you'll harvest confusion. But if you plant purpose, gratitude, wisdom, and discipline, you'll harvest success. The first powerful morning habit you need before entering 2027 is to own the first hour of your day. The first hour belongs to you, not to your phone, not to social media, not to the news, not to your inbox, to you. Before the world speaks to you, spend time speaking to yourself. Before the noise begins, create silence. Before people tell you who you should be, remind yourself who you already are becoming. The quality of your day depends on the quality of your thoughts. Wake up and choose your thoughts intentionally. Tell yourself that today is another opportunity. Tell yourself that your past does not define your future. Tell yourself that every challenge is preparing you for greater responsibility. People often ask why some individuals remain calm under pressure, while others panic. The answer usually isn't found in the pressure. It's found in the preparation. Strong mornings produce strong minds. Weak mornings create reactive lives. Imagine two people leaving their homes at exactly the same time. One spent the first hour learning, thinking, planning, praying, exercising, and preparing. The other spent the first hour scrolling through endless videos, reacting to messages, and rushing because they hit the snooze button 3 times. They both have 24 hours, but they do not have the same momentum. Momentum is priceless. Once you build positive momentum, every decision becomes easier. Discipline stops feeling like punishment and starts feeling like freedom. The second powerful morning habit is to feed your mind before you feed your distractions. Every day, your mind consumes something. The question isn't whether you're learning. The question is what you're learning. If your first teacher every morning is social media, don't be surprised when comparison steals your confidence. If your first teacher is negativity, don't be surprised when fear dominates your decisions. Your mind was designed to expand. Invest in it. Read something that stretches your thinking. Listen to ideas that challenge your limitations. Reflect on timeless principles that strengthen your character. Ask yourself powerful questions. What kind of person do I need to become? What value will I create today? Who can I help? How can I grow? Your income rarely exceeds your mindset for very long. Your leadership rarely exceeds your thinking. Your opportunities usually follow your preparation. The greatest investment you will ever make isn't into stocks. It isn't into real estate. It isn't into cryptocurrency. The greatest investment is into the person staring back at you in the mirror. Because wherever you go, that's the asset that goes with you. Skills can create income. Character creates lasting influence. Knowledge creates opportunities. Discipline allows you to keep them. Many people pray for bigger opportunities while refusing to become bigger people. Become the person capable of handling the blessing you're asking for. Every morning gives you that opportunity. The third powerful morning habit is to accomplish one meaningful task before the world begins, making demands on your attention. Notice I didn't say complete everything. Just one thing, one meaningful action, one important step, one promise kept to yourself. Success is built one completed commitment at a time. Confidence doesn't come from positive thinking alone. Confidence comes from evidence. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, your self-respect grows. Every time you break a promise to yourself, your confidence quietly shrinks. If you say you're going to wake up early, wake up early. If you say you're going to exercise, exercise. If you say you're going to study, study. If you say you're going to write, write. Your future is watching every promise you make today. Stop negotiating with your potential. Every excuse sounds reasonable until you compare it with the life you could have lived. The successful don't always feel motivated. They simply become the kind of people who act whether motivation arrives or not. Motivation is emotional. Discipline is intentional. Motivation comes and goes. Discipline stays. That's why discipline always wins in the long run. Don't wait until you feel like becoming successful. Act like the successful person you're becoming. Your habits create your identity. Every morning you're casting another vote. You're either voting for discipline or distraction. You're voting for excellence or mediocrity. You're voting for growth or comfort. You don't become successful in one dramatic moment. You become successful through thousands of ordinary mornings that nobody applauds. Remember this. Nobody sees the alarm clock you refuse to snooze. Nobody sees the book you read before sunrise. Nobody sees the quiet moments you spent planning your future. Nobody sees the workouts completed when everyone else was sleeping. But eventually, everyone sees the results. People celebrate what they never witnessed being built. Don't chase applause. Chase progress. Applause fades. Progress compounds. The difference between where you are today and where you could be by 2027 isn't magic. It's consistency. 3 mornings won't change your life. 300 disciplined mornings absolutely will. Small, daily improvements create extraordinary, long-term results. Never underestimate what 1 hour repeated every day can accomplish. 1 hour each morning becomes 7 hours each week. Nearly 30 hours each month. Hundreds of hours every year. Imagine investing hundreds of focused hours into your health, your mindset, your faith, your business, your education, your relationships. Would your life remain the same? Of course not. The tragedy isn't that people lack potential. The tragedy is that they waste potential one distracted morning at a time. You were created for more than surviving another year. You were created to grow, to serve, to lead, to build, and to leave something behind that outlives you. Stop treating mornings like something to get through. Treat them like opportunities to become someone greater. The clock doesn't care about your dreams. Time keeps moving whether you move or not. Every sunrise asks the same question. What will you do with today? Your answer determines your future. As 2027 gets closer, don't focus on making bigger resolutions. Focus on becoming a stronger person. Protect your mornings. Guard your attention. Feed your mind. Keep your promises. Stay consistent when nobody is watching. Because one morning won't change your life. But the life you dream about may be built one powerful morning at a time. When you finally step into 2027, don't arrive carrying regret. Don't arrive wondering what could have happened if you had simply started earlier. Walk into that year with confidence because you already became the person capable of succeeding before the calendar ever changed. Remember this every single morning. Your future isn't created at the end of the year. It's created at the beginning of the day. And if you master your mornings, you'll discover something extraordinary. You won't just enter 2027. You'll be prepared to own it. Every day begins with a decision, whether you realize it or not. The moment your eyes open, you're choosing the direction your life will take. Most people believe success is determined by what happens throughout the day, but the truth is that success is usually decided long before the day fully begins. The first hour after you wake up is not just another 60 minutes on the clock. It is the foundation upon which every other hour is built. If you lose that first hour to distractions, rushing, negativity, or laziness, you'll spend the rest of the day trying to recover. But if you win that first hour with purpose, discipline, and intention, you'll carry momentum that follows you into every conversation, every decision, and every opportunity. Think about it. You cannot expect a productive day to grow out of an unproductive morning. A building is only as strong as its foundation, and your day is no different. The quality of your morning determines the quality of your mindset, and your mindset influences every action you take. That's why successful people don't leave their mornings to chance. They don't wake up and immediately hand control of their attention to notifications, emails, or social media. They understand that once the world starts demanding their time, it becomes much harder to focus on what truly matters. So they choose to invest in themselves before they invest in everyone else. Winning the first hour doesn't require perfection. It requires intention. Use that time to strengthen your mind, your body, and your spirit. Spend a few moments in gratitude instead of complaint. Fill your mind with wisdom instead of endless scrolling. Move your body instead of remaining stuck in comfort. Write down your priorities before other people's priorities take over your schedule. Even one meaningful action completed during that first hour creates momentum that carries into the rest of the day. Momentum is powerful because success builds upon success. One disciplined decision leads to another, and before long, Watch created a productive day almost effortlessly. Remember, every morning is a fresh opportunity to become the person you want to be. You don't need a new year, a new job, or a new environment to change your life. You simply need to start winning the first hour consistently. Master your mornings, and you'll begin mastering your days. Master your days, and eventually you'll master your future. The life you dream about isn't built in occasional moments of inspiration. It's built in the quiet, disciplined mornings when you choose growth over comfort and purpose over distraction. One of the biggest mistakes people make every morning is allowing their phone to become the first voice they hear. Before they've even taken a deep breath or gathered their thoughts, they're already scrolling through notifications, checking emails, reading headlines, or watching videos that have nothing to do with their purpose. In just a few minutes, their mind is filled with other people's opinions, problems, expectations, and distractions. They begin the day reacting instead of leading. They surrender control of their focus before they've even decided what truly matters. If you want your life to change before 2027, one of the most powerful habits you can develop is this. Feed your mind before you feed your phone. Your mind is your greatest asset. Every decision you make, Every opportunity you recognize, every challenge you overcome begins with the way you think. If your thoughts are weak, your actions will be weak. If your thoughts are focused, your actions become intentional. That's why the first information you consume each morning matters so much. Just as your body becomes healthier or weaker based on the food you eat, your mind becomes stronger or weaker based on the ideas you consume. Fill it with fear, comparison, and negativity, and you'll carry those emotions throughout the day. Fill it with wisdom, gratitude, faith, and purpose, and you'll approach every situation with confidence and clarity. Before you touch your phone, spend time investing in yourself. Read a few pages from a book that challenges your thinking. Reflect on principles that strengthen your character. Write down 3 things you're grateful for. Spend a few quiet moments praying, meditating, or simply thinking about the person you want to become. Review your goals and remind yourself why they matter. Ask yourself meaningful questions instead of allowing social media to provide meaningless answers. These simple actions may seem small, but repeated every morning, they reshape the way you think. They help you become proactive instead of reactive and intentional instead of distracted. The truth is, your phone is a tool, but it should never become your master. Technology is meant to serve your purpose, not replace it. The world is constantly competing for your attention because attention is valuable. Companies spend billions of dollars designing apps that keep you scrolling for as long as possible. Every extra minute you spend consuming distractions is a minute you're not creating, learning, growing, or building the future you desire. The most successful people understand this, which is why they protect their attention as carefully as they protect their money. They know that where attention goes, energy follows, and where energy flows, results begin to grow. Imagine starting every morning with a clear, peaceful, focused mind instead of a mind crowded with noise. Imagine making decisions based on your values instead of your emotions. Imagine walking into every meeting, every challenge, and every opportunity with confidence because you have already strengthened your thinking before the world had a chance to influence it. That's the power of feeding your mind before your phone. It's not about avoiding technology forever. It's about choosing who gets access to your mind first. When you consistently fill your mind with truth, wisdom, and purpose before inviting the world into your day, you stop living by reaction and start living with intention. And that single habit, practiced every morning, can completely transform the direction of your life long before 2027 ever arrives. One of the greatest reasons people end every day feeling frustrated is that they spend the entire day reacting instead of creating. From the moment they wake up, they're answering messages, checking emails, attending meetings, solving other people's problems, and responding to endless notifications. By the time the evening arrives, they're exhausted, yet they haven't moved any closer to the goals that matter most to them. They were busy all day, but they weren't productive. There's a difference. Being busy means your time is full. Being productive means your priorities are being fulfilled. If you want your life to look different before 2027, you must learn to take purposeful action before the world has a chance to interrupt you. Every morning gives you a short window of opportunity when your mind is fresh, your energy is highest, and your focus hasn't yet been divided. That window is priceless. The question is whether you'll use it to build your future or simply react to everyone else's preference. The world will always have demands waiting for you. There will always be another email to answer, another notification to check, another phone call to return, or another problem requiring your attention. Those things never disappear, but your most important goals require something they cannot give you: intentional focus. If you don't protect that focus early in the day, chances are you'll spend the rest of your day chasing urgency while neglecting importance. Before checking what everyone else wants from you, ask yourself one simple question. What is the one action I can take this morning that moves me closer to the life I want? Maybe it's writing the first page of your book, exercising for 30 minutes, practicing a valuable skill, working on your business, studying a new subject, or planning your most important tasks. It doesn't have to be a huge accomplishment. It simply has to be meaningful. One intentional action completed before the world interrupts you creates momentum that carries into every other part of your day. Progress creates confidence, and confidence creates even greater progress. The mistake many people make is waiting until they have time. The truth is, time is rarely found. It is intentionally created. If you don't schedule your priorities will be replaced by someone else's. Successful people understand that their mornings are too valuable to waste on activities that produce no lasting results. They choose to create before they consume, to build before they browse, and to produce before they react. That single decision separates those who constantly dream about success from those who steadily achieve it. Remember, every great achievement is simply the result of thousands of purposeful actions, repeated over time. No one transforms their life in a single dramatic moment. They transform it by consistently doing the important things before distractions have a chance to steal their attention. Every morning, you have the opportunity to cast another vote for the person you want to become. Take one meaningful step before the world pulls you in 100 different directions. Protect your focus, honor your priorities, and refuse to let urgency replace purpose. When you consistently begin your day with intentional action instead of constant reaction, you'll discover that success isn't something you accidentally stumble upon. It's something you deliberately build, one focused morning at a time. The greatest mistake people make when trying to change their lives is believing that one inspired day will erase years of inconsistent living. They watch a motivational video, read a powerful book, or attend an inspiring event, and for a few days, they feel unstoppable. They wake up early, exercise, read, and work with excitement. But then life happens. Motivation fades, distractions return, and little by little they slip back into the habits that have always kept them where they are. That's because real transformation is never the result of a single emotional moment. It is the result of repeated actions performed long after the excitement has disappeared. If you truly want to enter 2027 as a different person, you must repeat the right habits every single day until they are no longer something you do. They become part of who you are. Your identity is built by repetition. Every action you repeat sends a message to your mind about the kind of person you believe yourself to be. Every time you wake up early, you cast a vote for becoming a disciplined person. Every time you choose learning over mindless scrolling, you reinforce the identity of a lifelong student. Every time you keep a promise to yourself instead of making another excuse, you strengthen your self-respect. These individual choices may seem small, but over time they shape your character. You don't become confident because you say positive words in front of a mirror. You become confident because you've repeatedly proven to yourself that you can be trusted. Confidence is earned through consistency, not wishful thinking. Most people focus on achieving goals, but goals alone are temporary. Once the goal is reached, the motivation often disappears. Identity, however, lasts. Instead of saying, "I want to wake up early," become the kind of person who naturally values an early start. Instead of saying, "I want to read more books," become someone who sees learning as part of everyday life. Instead of chasing success as an event, become the person success naturally follows. When your habits become part of your identity, discipline no longer feels like a struggle because you're no longer forcing yourself to act differently. You are simply acting in alignment with who you've become. There will be mornings when you don't feel like getting out of bed. There will be days when progress feels invisible and the results seem far away. Those are the moments that matter most. Anyone can stay committed when life is easy, but true growth happens when you continue despite discomfort. Every time you choose discipline over convenience, you strengthen your identity. Every time you refuse to quit, you become mentally stronger than you were the day before. The habits that feel difficult today will eventually become automatic if you repeat them long enough. What once required determination will one day require almost no effort because it has become part of your lifestyle. Never underestimate the power of ordinary days repeated consistently. Extraordinary lives are not built through extraordinary moments alone. They are built through ordinary mornings, ordinary decisions, and ordinary actions performed with extraordinary consistency. The version of yourself that you hope to become by 2027 is being shaped right now by what you repeatedly do each day. Don't chase perfection. Chase consistency. Don't wait until you feel motivated. Keep showing up until discipline becomes second nature. Because when the right habits stop being tasks and start becoming your identity, Success is no longer something you have to pursue. It becomes the natural outcome of the person you will become. As we come to the end of this message, I want to leave you with one final thought. 1 year from today, you will wake up in a life that was built by the choices you make starting tomorrow morning. Read that again in your mind. Your future isn't waiting for permission. It's being created one sunrise at a time. The question is no longer, can you change your life? The real question is, will you change your habits? Because habits become routines. Routines become character. Character becomes destiny. And destiny is nothing more than the accumulated result of the decisions you make every single day. Don't wait for January 1st. Don't wait until you feel motivated. Don't wait for the perfect circumstances. The perfect time has never existed. The only moment you truly own is the one you're living right now. When your alarm rings tomorrow morning, remember that it isn't just waking you up. It is giving you another opportunity to become the person you're signed that too always wanted to be. You can hit the snooze button on the alarm, but eventually you'll hit the snooze button on your dreams. You can postpone discipline, but you cannot postpone the consequences of avoiding it. Life always collects its payment. Every morning, you're making a silent decision. You're either investing in your future or borrowing from it. You're either becoming stronger or becoming more comfortable. You're either building the life you want or settling for the life you have. No one else can make that choice for you. Not your family, not your friends, not your boss, not your circumstances. Only you. Imagine standing on the first day of 2027. Imagine looking back over the previous months with confidence instead of regret. Imagine knowing that while most people waited for motivation, you built discipline. While most people made excuses, you made progress. While most people complained about life, you quietly transformed yours. That version of you isn't a fantasy. It's waiting on the other side of your daily decisions. So when you wake up tomorrow, don't think about changing your entire life. Think about winning the first hour. Feed your mind before you feed your phone. Take one purposeful action before the world interrupts you. Then repeat those habits until they stop feeling like something you do and start becoming who you are. Remember, extraordinary lives are rarely created by extraordinary moments. They're created by ordinary mornings, repeated with extraordinary consistency. Your breakthrough isn't hiding in next year. It's hiding in tomorrow morning. So don't enter 2027 carrying the same excuses, the same fears, and the same unfinished dreams. Enter it with a new identity. Enter it with unstoppable discipline. Enter it with the confidence that comes from keeping promises to yourself every single day. Because the person who masters the morning eventually masters the day. The person who masters the day eventually masters the year. And the person who masters enough years masters their destiny. Your next morning is waiting. Your next chapter is waiting. Your future is waiting. Now go earn it.